Now, we will start the lesson for topic 2, combustion. What is combustion? Combustion is a process of burning something. To define it in scientific way, combustion is a chemical reaction between substance and oxygen to produce heat, light, and carbon dioxide. In general, combustion can only happen when the fuel, oxygen, and heat are present at the same time. The fire triangle shown in the slide here is the good show of the combustion condition. Now, we have known what is combustion. This is important for us to know the fire extinguisher. Let's discuss this topic now. Fire extinguisher is a tool to extinguish fire. Again, combustion can only happen when the fuel, oxygen, and heat are present at the same time. Can only happen when the fuel, oxygen, and heat are present at the same time. Combustion can only happen when the fuel, oxygen, and heat are present at the same time. Combustion can only happen when the fuel, oxygen, and heat are present at the same time. This condition come out the principle of firefighting. That is, remove one or more of the three elements of the combustion. The following are the three principles of firefighting. The first principle is starving. This is about the removal of fuel. Here is two examples of starving action. Relocation of unburnt wood from the vicinity of the fire. Turning off the gas supply that causing the fire. The second principle is smothering. This is about cutting off the supply of oxygen. Here is two examples of smothering action. Spraying carbon dioxide, or foam, onto the fire. And smothering the source of fire, with fire blanket. The third principle of firefighting is cooling. This is to lower the temperature of the fire source. Here got two examples of cooling action. Cooling the fire source using water. Dumping water to wildfires, using helicopter. We have just discussed the principle of firefighting. Now, let's see the type of portable fire extinguishers. In general, we have four types of portable fire extinguishers. The first is water-type fire extinguisher. It is with red label. The second is foam-type extinguishers. It is with cream label. The third is carbon dioxide fire extinguisher. It is with black label. The fourth is outer fire extinguisher. It is with blue label. These four types of fire extinguisher are the common fire extinguisher that we can see in our environment. But the use of the fire extinguisher is depending on its suitableness to the fire source. In general, there are 5 types of fire sources. The first is flammable solids types such as paper, cloth, plastic and wood. The fire from flammable solids can be extinguished using water and dry powder type fire extinguisher. It is unsuitable to use the other 2 type of fire extinguisher. The second type of the fire source is from flammable liquids, such as paraffin, petrol and oil. They are organic compound in liquid form. Fire from flammable liquids extinguished using foam, carbon dioxide and dry powder fire extinguisher. This is not suitable to use water-type fire extinguisher, because normally water got higher density compared to the flammable liquids. Flammable liquids will float on the top of water, and continue the burning. The flammable gases such as propane, butane, and methane, the organic compound gas, are the fire source in gas form. The fire from the fire source in gas form can be extinguished by using dry powder type fire extinguisher. And it is not suitable using the rest of 3 type of fire extinguisher. The fourth fire source is from electrical equipments. The fire from electrical equipments can be extinguished using carbon dioxide and dry powder type fire extinguisher. The fifth type of fire source is metals types fire source, such as sodium, and magnesium. The fires from potassium, sodium, and magnesium can be extinguished using the dry powder fire extinguisher. This table is for you to overview the suitableness of fire extinguisher to the source of fire. Prevent the fire to happen is better than extinguish the fire when it happens. Now, let's talk about safety measures to prevent the occurrence of fire. We need to practice safety measures to prevent the occurrence of fire. The follows are the safety measures to prevent the occurrence of fire. The first is, keep heaters well guarded. The second is, keep candles away from furniture and curtains. The third is, plan the escape route of fire evacuation. The fourth is, keep matches and lighters out of the children's reach. The fifth is, don't dry clothes over or near the fire. The sixth is, fit approved smoke detectors on each floor of building. The seventh is, don't smoke on bed. This is the discussion for the examples of safety measures to prevent the occurrence of fire. Now, we are in the third topic, air pollution. Air pollution occurs when air pollutants present in the atmosphere. Air pollutants are any chemical substances, particles, or microorganisms that present in the air, which will give a harmful impact to our health and environment. Air pollution is the result of various human activities that produce air pollutant to the atmosphere. The activities that act as the sources of pollution are as follows. The first example is combustion of fossil fuel in vehicles. This is industrial emissions. The third is open burning and forest fires. The fourth is agricultural activities. The fifth is aerosol sprays, refrigerator, and air conditioners. The sixth is nuclear power plant. The seventh is construction sites, asbestos factories, limestone quarries. This is the phenomena of air pollution. Now, let's see the adverse effects of air pollution. Air pollution causes harmful effect to the living thing and environment. The harmful effect of air pollution have been given to human health, buildings and infrastructures, plants and animals, and climate of the earth. In the following part of this video, we will detail on how the air pollute give the harmful effect to this section. In the first section, the human health. Smoke and soot can cause respiratory issues, shortness of breath, and asthma. Nitrogen dioxide can cause a respiratory issue, itchiness and redness. Carbon monoxide can cause headache, dizziness, vomiting, and nausea. If carbon monoxide levels are high enough, you may become unconscious or die. Radioactive substances can cause cancer illness, it is carcinogenic. About the adverse effects of air pollution to the buildings and infrastructures. Dust from the air will be deposited on the buildings and makes it dirty. Sulfur dioxide and oxides of nitrogen in the air will dissolve into rainwater to form acid rain, which will corrode concrete, limestone structure, and accelerates the rusting process. This is the adverse effects of air pollution to the plants and animals. Sulfur dioxide and oxides of nitrogen in the air will dissolve in rainwater to form acid rain, which will cause the soil to be acidic and infertile. Acid rain flows into the water and causes the water becomes acidic, which is not suitable for aquatic plants and animals. Smoke and haze reduce the sunlight penetration to the Earth's surface, and then reduce the rate of photosynthesis of the green plants. About the effects of air pollution on climate. Smoke and greenhouse gases released from human activities will trap the heat from escaping into the space from atmosphere. This is global warming. Global warming may result in climate change. Certain places may experience drought and floods. The chlorofluorocarbon, CFCs, that released to the atmosphere will result in depletion of ozone layer. This allow harmful UV to reach the surface of the Earth. This is the effects of air pollution on climate. Now, we discuss the solutions of air pollution. Solutions of air pollution are needed. Since air pollution cause harmful effect to the living thing and environment. The follows are the examples of solution. The first is, by law enforcement. The second is, by education. The third is, by science and technology. These three approaches will be detailed in the coming parts of the video. First of all, reduce the air pollution through law enforcement. This can be done by adopting the Environmental Quality Act, (ELASA). Impose fine to the individual who practices open burning, smoke in restricted areas, and not abide by the rules of vehicle emission standard. Prohibit heavy industry in residential areas. We can reduce the air pollution issue through the education. For example, educate the public on practices of 3R practices, reduce air pollution. Especially in school. Encourage carpooling, using public transport, biking, and walking, which help in conservation of energy. Organize local utility energy conservation programs, such as Love Our Environment campaigns. This is the approaches to solve the air pollution issue via education. We may reduce the air pollution through the development of science and technology. We may use hybrid vehicles to replace the petrol car on the roadway, which can help to reduce the emission of greenhouse gases effectively. The second example is, install catalytic converters in motorized vehicles, which converts toxic gases and pollutants in exhaust gas from an internal combustion engine into less toxic pollutants. The third example, adopt biological methods to control pest. Use biological methods to control pest can avoid the air pollution by chemical pesticides. The fourth example is, use unleaded petrol and low sulfur petrol. The fifth example is, install electrostatic filters in factory smokestacks. This is the full content of Topic 3, Air Pollution. And, we have just completed the Chapter 7, Air. For watching.